Solo indie game dev is tough, there's no question about it. Tools like Adventure Game Studio give passion projects a home, and generative AI promises to bridge the gap for developers who, for example, can't draw, compose, or hire voice actors.
Captain's log. Delivery run 442. Cargo. 1,200 cans of Fizzle Light.
Yeah. Meet Jex Vortigan, a protagonist who looks like a child but has the AI voice of a grown-up man. Today we're looking at The Adventures of Jex Vortigan, a full-length freeware adventure created by Peter Hötger. Now, before we dive in, let's be fair. This is a freeware project made by a solo developer in their spare time, and finishing a full adventure game in AGS is an accomplishment on its own. But as an actual gameplay experience, it's a prime example of what happens when AI tools are used without a unifying art direction. Let's start by looking at how the game actually plays. The core adventure puzzles, the classic use item X on object Y mechanics, are pretty much on autopilot. They are extremely trivial and rarely require more than a second of thought to figure out. Let's have a look at a few examples.
It's the left arm of a robot. They're using it as a piano decoration. Maybe I can ask the bartender if I can have it. Hello.
Good day, sir. What will it be?
I see you have some robot arm decorations on the piano.
Yeah, I do, but they're a pain to deal with. They keep falling down.
Can I have them?
Sure, take them off my hands before I throw them out.
Thank you, much appreciated.
No, thank you. You're doing me a favor.
That's all. I'll come back later.
Okay, have it your way.
Well, that was easy. Not much work required there from Jex, apart from asking nicely.
I better ask the shopkeeper about it. Hello.
Welcome. What are you looking for?
Do you have any maps of the area?
You're in luck. I lifted this map of A. I acquired this map legally. Do you want it?
Yes, that's why I asked for one.
That will be 10 forkins.
I don't have any forkins.
Do you have anything on you to trade?
I have this can of Fizzle Light.
One fizz is not enough for a map. Do you have more?
I also have this protein bar.
Okay, for the protein bar and the fizz you can have it. Just hand them over and I'll get the map for you. Ah, the protein bar. Thanks. Fizz. Just what I needed. Let me grab that map for you. Here you go, one Sporculin map.
Thank you.
I think you get the idea when it comes to the puzzles here. Let's look at the final example. Here we need to hack into a computer. Well, thank God someone wrote the password down on a piece of paper in the next room. We didn't have to use our hacker brains much here either. To make up for the easy story puzzles, the game routinely throws full-screen logic puzzles at you. Let's look at an example. We need to help get Jex out of jail. The cell is locked and unlocked from a computer standing right next to the cell. If that wasn't dumb enough, the logic puzzle for unlocking the cell is even dumber. The logic behind these puzzles feels non-existent. Instead of rewarding clever thinking, these moments quickly devolve into pure trial and error. You end up brute forcing solutions just to get back to the story. This halts the game's momentum dead in its tracks. If the game had had any momentum to begin with, that is. At this stage of the game, I was already frustrated enough to gladly consider leaving Jex in his cell to rot.
Wrong connection. Try again. Wrong connection. Try again. Wrong connection. Try again. All connections complete. I can activate it now. Done.
There was actually one puzzle where I did get stuck though, but that felt more like a programming error rather than an actual puzzle, to be honest. Let's have a look.
There is something on top of the crate. I should pick that up first. Fortress blueprints. A box of explosives. Fortress blueprints. We should go to the war room and fold them out on the table.
Yeah, that sounds simple enough, doesn't it? But that's not really the case.
I'm not leaving just yet.
I wasn't really trying to leave, but okay.
We can use this table to plan our heist. I'm not leaving just yet. Fortress blueprints. We should go to the war room and fold them out on the table.
After having tried every possible verb and action involving the blueprint and the table, I went to the AGS forums for a hint. Turns out the issue is neither with the blueprint nor the table.
A loose tile. I wonder what's under it.
No, Jex had overlooked a loose tile in the living room. Turns out Jex's little hint was confusing at best. To summarize my verdict when it comes to puzzle design and logic, I think that the puzzles are either very obvious story-related puzzles, or illogical logic puzzles, or just not very well programmed. And this results in 1 out of 5 possible cups. Let's have a look at the narrative elements of the game, as well as dialogue and world building. The game starts out with a simple goal of getting Jex back home after having repaired his spaceship. But then there are a couple of plot twists. I'm not really a big sci-fi fan, and I have to say I lost interest in the story about 30 minutes into the game. The characters didn't really interest me either, and I can't remember chuckling at or feeling entertained by the dialogue a single time. It's mostly very dry. The game has a very strange cast as well. Even for a sci-fi, it feels very random. Let's have a look at a few examples. Why is the little Reaper waiting for a tram? And what on earth is the guy next to him? Is it a brain with a propeller head on top of 2 upper bodies? This is clearly what AI-generated nightmares are made of. Next up, what is Sasquatch doing in the bathroom on planet Nimbus? And finally, this guy. What is he doing on a planet populated by aliens? He looks more like a crossover between Family Guy and The Simpsons or something. After a while, I really had to force myself to keep playing this game, but new planets and locations kept emerging. Upon leaving Sporkulon, I had to go to Devanta Nomad, then Planet Nimbus, then Seraphil Prime, then Aquaria, then Fortress Moon of Anson. Yeah, you get the idea. The next planet just as inconsistent as the previous. To summarize, the world building didn't really work for me. I didn't find the story very intriguing. The characters felt rather flat and really random. And it just goes on and on and on and on. I give narrative dialogue and world building 1 out of 5 cups. Let's continue with art and animation. You've already seen a lot of the visuals so far in this review video. They look very AI generated and inconsistent. We also have the usual AI issues with, for example, spelling mistakes. What on earth is mercantile? I'm guessing it should have been mercantile. Inconsistency is really the key word here. Let's compare two images of the same desert. The first background looks rather cartoony. The second one, not so much. And this falling rock animation? The rock was completely swallowed by the desert without leaving a trace. Fascinating. And this spaceship here, it has an engine which looks like this. This red and white Volkswagen bus is apparently also the ideal vehicle for a sneaky heist. It totally blends into the environment without raising any suspicion, right? But I do think the security guards win the inconsistency prize. First they look like this. And then they look like this. Okay, enough. Let's summarize art and animation. I only have one word for you: inconsistency. This is a clear 1 out of 5 cups. As a final category, let's look at audio and voice acting. I'll start out with the positive. The music is actually rather good. I don't have anything to complain about there. The sound effects are also fitting. The voice acting, on the other hand, I would have preferred not having any voice acting at all over all these AI voices, to be honest. It's not just that the voices sound very robotic for the most part. There's also the hilarious detail that the most human-sounding voice in the whole game was used for a computer. A computer speaking with an Indian accent.
Computer, what do you know about this planet?
Let me check my data bank. Stand by. From the robot factory records, this is planet Nimbus.
Another funny example is this weapons dealer. He speaks with an Eastern European accent, I think. But something clearly went wrong here. He doesn't say the price, 50, in English, but in some other language. Possibly Latvian or Polish, but I'm not sure.
So you want to talk about big matches?
Yes.
Ok, this is what I got for you. This one is big, good for cutting through brush in the jungle. What do you say?
Looks nice, I'll take it.
That will be 50 galactic credits.
To summarize audio and voice acting, I think the music fits the game fine. The sound effects are also good, but the AI voices are not my cup of tea. And based on this, I decided to give it 3 out of 5 cups. It's time to summarize my impressions of the game and give it a rating as a whole. I found the puzzles and story rather boring. Where Jex Vortigan really struggles, though, is in its presentation. The game creator has relied heavily on AI to generate sprites, backgrounds, video cutscenes, and voiceovers. Generative tools can output impressive single images, but point-and-click adventure games rely entirely on cohesion. Walking from one room to another feels like jumping between entirely different games. One scene looks like a stylized digital painting, the next look like an AI filtered photograph, and the character sprites look like they belong in a third, completely separate universe. The AI voice lines and audio sequences suffer from the same issue. Tone, pacing, and basic character matching, like making the child protagonist sound like a child, are completely absent. It detaches you from the story and makes it almost impossible to get immersed in the world. Look, I respect the sheer ambition here. Creating a full-length adventure game as a solo hobbyist takes time and dedication. The creator has clearly put a lot of work into this game. But AI isn't a substitute for art and audio direction. Even simple hand-drawn programmer art or basic pixel graphics would have felt more cohesive than a collection of mismatched generated assets. A game needs a unified style to build a world, and without it, the experience feels more like a tech demo of random AI outputs than a polished narrative. Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones though, right? Well, I speak from experience. I actually tried using AI graphics for a recent Mags game I made in AGS. Even though I tried my absolute hardest to keep the art style consistent, it was an uphill battle I couldn't win. In the end, I realized I spent more time tweaking, cleaning up, and editing AI outputs than it would have taken to just draw original primitive-looking art myself. My game deservedly got criticized for this. It was a massive learning lesson for me as a creator, and it made me realize that even simple hand-drawn graphics carry a level of intent and cohesion that AI tools just can't replicate. Ultimately, The Adventures of Jex Vortigan is an interesting case study in modern freeware development, but it's not a game I can recommend playing. The combination of trivial adventure mechanics, frustrating trial-and-error logic puzzles, and jarring asset clash make it hard to stick with through to the end. My final verdict is therefore 1 out of 5 cups. What do you think? Does it make sense to use AI art and voiceovers in a point-and-click adventure game? Have I been too harsh on this game? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this honest breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more point-and-click game reviews and retrospectives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.